Across the dry grasslands of Africa, this elephant looks almost untouchable. It is one of the largest land animals on Earth. Its skin is thick. Its muscles are immense. Its size alone is enough to make most creatures keep their distance. But even a giant like this cannot escape one of nature's smallest tormentors. Ticks. Hundreds of them cling to the elephant's body. They gather around the ears, hide in the deep folds behind the legs, attach themselves along the neck, and bury into the softer skin where the elephant cannot easily reach. One by one, they feed on its blood, turning its own body into a living source of food. The elephant tries to find relief. It flaps its ears, it swings its trunk, it rubs its massive side against rough tree bark. Sometimes it throws dust or mud across its body, hoping for comfort, but the relief never lasts. The parasites remain. For an animal this powerful, it is a quiet kind of suffering. Strength can drive away predators. Tusks can defend against threats. Size can command the landscape, but none of that matters against creatures so small, so persistent, and so difficult to remove. Then help arrives from the sky. A red-billed oxpecker glides down and lands softly on the elephant's back. For a moment, the contrast is almost unbelievable. A tiny bird standing on the body of a giant. But the oxpecker is not here by accident. It knows exactly what it is looking for. With quick, practiced steps, it moves across the elephant's rough skin. Its sharp eyes scan every crease and wrinkle. Then, with one precise peck, it pulls out a swollen tick. And then another, and another. Before long, more oxpeckers arrive. One lands near the shoulder. Another hops along the spine. One clings close to the base of the ear, where parasites often gather in large numbers. Their bright red bills move rapidly as they search, probe, and feed. The elephant does not chase them away. Instead, it remains still. That stillness is important. It allows the birds to work more carefully. Around the ears, where skin is softer and blood vessels lie close to the surface, ticks can be especially difficult to remove. For the elephant, these are places the trunk cannot always reach with precision. But for the oxpeckers, they are exactly the places worth exploring. The birds move with confidence. They hop across the elephant's shoulders. They cling to its sides. Sometimes they ride its back as if it were part of the landscape itself. Each tick they remove is a meal. Each parasite gone means one less source of irritation for the elephant. Slowly, the benefit begins to show. The elephant's restless movements become less frequent. Its ears flap more gently. Its body seems calmer, less agitated. It no longer presses itself so urgently against trees or swings its trunk as often toward the problem areas. For the oxpeckers, this giant is more than a perch. It is a moving feeding ground, a place where food can be found not in seeds or fruit, but in the parasites living on another animal's skin. And for the elephant, these tiny birds may offer something that brute strength cannot provide. Relief. But nature is rarely as simple as it first appears. Oxpeckers are famous for removing ticks, yet scientists have also observed that they may sometimes peck at wounds or feed on soft tissue. Their relationship with large mammals is not always perfect. It is not a story of kindness. It is not friendship in the human sense. It is something more ancient and more practical than that. A balance. The birds come because they need food. The elephant tolerates them because, most of the time, the benefit is worth it. In the wild, Survival often depends on these strange arrangements. Relationships shaped not by emotion, but by necessity. As the light begins to soften over the savanna, the elephant continues its slow journey through the grass. The oxpeckers remain on its back, still searching, still working, still turning parasites into nourishment. It is an extraordinary image, one of the largest animals in the world relying, at least in part, on one of the smallest. Here, power alone is not enough. Even a giant has limits. Even a creature built like a fortress can be brought discomfort by something no bigger than a fingernail. And sometimes, the answer does not come from force. Sometimes, it arrives on wings. Because in nature, survival is not always about defeating every enemy alone. Sometimes it is about accepting help from the smallest allies of all.